Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 24th of September 2020. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Dali Tarot again for today's reading. This is really an amazing deck. You'll see in a moment. I'm going to choose 3 cards here, as always, to give you an insight into the day's energy and to see what you'll be working with on Thursday, the 24th of September. One more time, and here we go. All right, first card is, what is this? 5, 6, 7, 7 of Wands. Okay, lots of hands reaching out. 2, 4, 6, 7, yeah, 7 of Wands. All right, next we've got El Mundo. We've got the world. Great. And finally, we have the Knight of Wands. And that's what's so great about this is I just saw Lord Shiva with this outline. And it has nothing to do usually with the Knight of Wands. Okay. Wow. All right. Let's see what this is all about. So here we've got lots of people working, super busy. Then we have these ones kind of interrupting them. And then we have all these hands reaching out. So it's almost like you're being blocked. You don't know who to reach out for. Where do you get your power from? Do you keep reaching by yourself, or do you connect with other people and let them support you and help you? And then here we've got a hand. Again, kind of, it's almost like stay back. And then it connects to this candle. So the light, the answer is really connecting to other people and not overcoming everything by yourself and asking for help and saying, I have something that I care about, that I'm interested in today, and I want to continue making that a reality, but I seem to be somewhat stuck and things are labored and difficult. Ding, idea goes off. How about you help me? How about I delegate some of the work, or I ask for support and help, which most of us don't do. Most of us don't go around and say, hey, do you know what? I just picked up the phone and I just wanted to say I'm having a really hard time today. Can you come over and help me get through the day? We don't do that. So first of all, making it specific. So people find it easier to ask others for specific things, I would say. So I really want to go for a long walk today and I don't want to do it by myself. Will you come with me to this, I don't know, a hill 10 minutes away so that we can go for a nice long walk? I really need your company and your help today because I want to do that. That's something where someone can say, yep, I'm willing to climb the hill or not. So if you do need help, first of all, there's no shame in it. Second of all, do reach out. Don't bulldoze your way forward by yourself. Try and ask for support and guidance, mainly from other people, but now I'm being told also from spirit, source. I mean, the candle does have that quality of the supernatural. It's like lighting a candle in a church, thinking of someone. So it's a symbol for that energy that resides in you. Next card is the world. And what have we got here? We've got this weird puppet theater with a kind of bloody face here. We've got these 3 women outside. They're kind of chained and bound to this scene. And here we've got a woman half submerged in the water. And she's tying them to her. So it seems like a performance that they're stuck in. A role they're supposed to play in life. And now they realize that they're the ones who are actually supporting this role and they can break free. This deck adds so many meanings to the cards. It's wonderful. So your world may be what it is, but it doesn't mean it has to stay that way. If you're working as an accountant you're single working as an accountant, you're 35 and you live in Bali, you can go be a waitress in London and get married and have kids. It's really, I know it sounds ridiculous when I say it like that, but it's as simple as changing your behavior and you're going to change your world, your life. And this card is saying you're free. You're not in some bloody box where you have to constantly kind of flog yourself to present a facade to the world that you think is going to be received well. No, give up on that. So what you've been doing so far, look at what's worked in your life and what hasn't worked. And the areas of your life that aren't working, review those. So maybe you're successful in work and love, but you're not so successful with friendships, or you're great at friends and relationship and family, but career-wise, you really don't know what you're supposed to do. So stop faking it. Step back and say, what is it that I can do differently? And how can I keep pushing? So certainly in this card, it says there is something you care about and you push, 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 and you feel it's a little bit overwhelming. That is certainly something you could get overwhelmed by. I'm a certain person in life. Let's say I'm 30 years old and I've got used to being this person in life. How am I suddenly going to change and stop projecting this ideal of myself that I was brought up with? That's a really good question, and that's something you can really liberate yourself from today. And this card to me says not everything is as it seems. We're looking at a knight with a wand, but I see a head with a crown and spiritual power behind that. So things aren't the way they seem. We've got Taurus here. You decide what you've done to seem a certain way. So what is your identity? Are you have you made yourself look handsome and you're very well dressed and you're super charming and that's what you rely on when you go into a social situation? Or do you represent yourself as the expert, and whenever you show up, you're armed with research and facts and figures, and you always want to come across as the person who's super educated and informed? Does that work for you? Has it worked for you? If the answer is no, you are able to remove yourself, look at the box and say, hey, there's a whole world outside. I don't just have to box myself in. I can ask other people how they've succeeded, how they've improved their relationships or their work or whatever. And the Knight of Wands, things seem a certain way. I may seem to not have it right, but fundamentally behind all of this, it's the process of life. It's transformation, learning, growth, destroying it and growing again and redoing things. Life is about conflict. Life is about getting clear with yourself and learning and doing things despite yourself. I mean, we don't just have conflict with other people, we've got conflict within ourselves. I heard this somewhere and I always remembered it. When the wars inside our heads stop, that's when the war in the world will stop. The Knight of Wands in himself is a young man who's working his way to be the king. He's a knight, so he's got considerable strength and force. He's the Knight of Wands. Wands is fire, that's your life purpose and passion. So how you present yourself to the world as someone who's super confident, or as an emo goth who, wears red makeup, or as an athlete, or someone who is free spirit or very free thinking, whatever it is. Does it work? Does this work for you? That's the question. The Knight of Wands is focused on living his best life. Wands is fire, which is life purpose and passion. So he does want to live a good life and have other people respond to the real him or her. So creating a version of yourself that feels authentic and real. And the Knight has his ups and downs. Sometimes he really makes a lot of progress and sometimes he doesn't. And oh wow, I'm just seeing this blue toad underneath. Amazing. So it's really the stuff that's happening beneath the surface inside of you. That's what's really going to drive you. And that's what's going to free you from the existing version you've created. You're able to ask for help, so you get support. You don't need to do it all by yourself. And you find ways of becoming more authentic as an individual. And after the knight graduates his knighthood, he becomes the King of Wands. And then you're in charge of living a life that you're passionate about, where you're not screaming bloody murder and saying, I hate this, and you're actually satisfied with who you are, how you're living, you've got connections, and you're doing things that you're passionate about. So it's reinvention. Reinvent yourself. Amazing. 5, 7, 3, 2 is 5, and 2 is 7. 7 and 21 is 28. and 1 is 29. 2 and 9 is 11. 11 is the master number of service. Wow, we had that yesterday, didn't we? 11. So this is a really great time where you're able to transform yourself and you're able to be of service, because you don't need to keep living this old, outdated version of who you thought you ought to be. You can actually live the real you and be alive in the moment. And by living the real self and being the real you, you're going to change society, because you are different. You will do things that are out of the norm. And the more other people bear witness to that, the easier it will be for other people in future to live their own unique best lives. So it's important that you display yourself to the world, because you're here for a reason. Future generations are going to think back on you and how you lived life and how you represented society, and whether you fit in and confirmed society is right, or whether you were a rebel and you lived your own life and society said, oh, what a weirdo, and you did it anyway because you cared. That will make life easier for the next people coming after you. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the button on the front page to order your reading with me. Book your reading, it says. In my personal readings, I can answer any questions you've got. So life purpose, love, money, where to live, relationships, health, anything at all. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, click on subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.